Hi, folks. Jeffrey Darty, Christian Whistleblower. It's Friday night, and I thought I would come and bring something a little bit different. We're going to have a Friday night troll special. I want to bring you something here on Friday night that the trolls are going to love, because I'm actually not going to go to the Hebrew. I'm not going to go to the Greek. I'm going to speak extemporaneously here tonight, and we're going to talk about the Ten Commandments, Christ style, the Ten Commandments Christ style. And I'm trying to figure out how to share my screen on this, but I don't know if I can figure out how to do it, so you might not get to see the handy dandy graphic that I made. But you know what, that's okay, because it doesn't really matter, but it is kind of cool looking. I'll just have you to know. You'll just have to take it from me. But we are going to talk about the Ten Commandments tonight, Christ style. And I want to give you some stuff that I think you're going to like. I think you're going to enjoy. I think you're going to appreciate. So let's take and I wanted to do this live, so I didn't have to edit it and all that, because it's been an incredible day. I started off the day in Denmark helping somebody. We went to Australia, went to Missouri, and it's just pretty amazing that I've been all over those places today, helping folks out with the personal work. And I feel pretty good. So I wanted to bring this to you because I think it's important, and I think it's something that you will appreciate. Let's look at the Ten Commandments. Let's look at the Ten Commandments Christ style. If I can get my situation situated here. All right. We're going to look at the Ten Commandments Christ style, and we're going to look at this here real quick. Bam. These are the Ten Commandments. And these are from the rat bastard. I am the rat bastard, your God. Brought you out of Egypt after I killed all them fools. And he says, have no other gods before me, the Lord. Have no other gods before the rat bastard. But we're changing the paradigm on that. We are changing the paradigm on that. And what I want to say to you is what the Christ said to you over in the New Testament. And this is blink time. This is not actual prove it from Hebrew, prove it from Greek. This is blink, prove it from your damn self time. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Now, what I'm talking about there, and I think what the Christ was talking about there, is he's saying, have no other gods before me. Not talking about the rat bastard. Not talking about Yahweh, Jehovah, Yaldabaoth, none of that stuff. All the same guy, by the way. He said, have no other gods before me. And that's you looking in the mirror like I'm looking into this screen, saying, I will have no other gods before me. Oh, blasphemy, terrible. That hurt. Let me get this out here. Blasphemy, terrible. Oh, no. You shall have no other gods before the me. No other gods before the me. Why no other gods before the me? Because remember, the Christ said, I hope I'm not blowing you out. Maybe I should lower down my volume a little bit. The Christ said, here's the two most important rules. Number one is love God. And number two, love your neighbor like yourself. Now, I used to be very confused by that, because I'm thinking, love God, love your neighbor like yourself. But how do I know how to love myself? How am I supposed to love my neighbor like myself? You never told me to love myself. Grasshopper. He did tell you to love yourself. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. He did tell you to love yourself. Didn't he just say, love your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and spirit? That's called a clue. Love your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your spirit. What's in your heart? What's in your mind? What's in your soul? What's in your spirit? Let me give you a hint. What's in your heart? What's in your mind? What's in your soul? What's in your spirit? What's in your heart? What's in your mind? What's in your soul? What's in your spirit? Bam. Me. I'm in my heart. I'm in my mind. I'm in my soul. I'm in my spirit. And not only am I in my heart, mind, soul, spirit, I'm the only thing in my heart, my mind, my soul, my spirit. And how are you supposed to love your neighbor as yourself when he never gave you any instructions about how to love yourself if you follow the rat bastard version of the Ten Commandments? But Christ says, look, bros, look, sisters, I'm telling you that the spark of divinity is inside you, in your heart. So I'm telling you, love the spark of divinity in your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit. Love you. Love me. I'll have no other gods before me. I'll have no other gods before the divinity that's in me. Me. Oh, that's blasphemy. Oh, blasphemy? No, it's blasphemy when you worship anything outside of you. That's blasphemy. How do you blaspheme me? By looking outside of you for something to worship. Dudette, the Christ said, love, I will have no other gods before the me. I'll have no other God before the spark of divinity in me. You should not, I'm pointing everything tonight, you should not ever cede your sovereignty, your spiritual sovereignty. You should not ever cede your spiritual divinity. You should never give up your spiritual carte blanche. Talked with a lovely lady in Oklahoma today, and she got that. She's like, no one's ever told me not to cede my spiritual sovereignty before. It's mind-boggling. Have no God before me. So, okay, me. So I got to learn how to love my neighbor as myself. That means I got to love me first. So I got to love the God in me. Well, I can't love me. Well, you can love you if God's in you. Remember that Christ said, nobody has ever yet hated his own self. Well, I've hated myself. I think I'm dirty, rotten, terrible. I think I'm ugly. My mom dresses me funny. That's because you don't have the right. You don't have the right. Do this. Get that thing cleared out of your head. You're supposed to love the me, the spark of divinity in you. That's why Christ said nobody ever hated his own self yet, because nobody ever hated the divinity. Nobody with any sense. So if you start realizing that I got to love me, the divinity in me, and if I'm good enough to have the spark of divinity in my heart, mind, soul, spirit, then I should learn to love me. And once I learn to love me, now I can understand, love my neighbor as myself. Yeah, because neighbor's got spark of divinity in her. Neighbor got spark of divinity in him. Neighbor's got spark of divinity in them. Neighbor might be gay, black, red, yellow, Islam, Buddhist, Dallas fan, Los Angeles fan, funny looking, earrings, purple hair, funny looking clothes, smells funny, talks funny, acts funny. But they got spark of divinity in them. I know I had a lot of troubles. I've learned to love me, so what the hell, I'll love you too. And then it all starts working. I'll have no God before me, the divinity in me. So then I learn to love me, and then I learn to love my neighbor as myself, even you. Even you. You see how it all works together? The Christ said, have no God before me. Love your neighbor just like you love yourself, and you learn to love yourself because you got the spark of divinity within you. Bam! That's pretty good, isn't it? That's only the first commandment, Christ style. You ready for number 2? Hey, I could turn on the chat here. I think I just turned on the chat. Is there any chat? Did you see any chat right there? Dudes, any chat here? Maybe I'm just chatting to me, but it says group chat. I can see there's some folks in there. Somebody give me a holla. Let me know that you're out there. Let me know what you think of that first commandment, Christ style. Am I crazy, or am I on to something? That's how you turn on the chat, right? Chat. Control room. What do I got here? I think we got chat. I think that's chat. Somebody hit me with a chat. Even if you say, screw you, hit me with a chat so I know we got a chat there. Anyway, so let's look at Christ style commandment number 2. Share. Come on. There we go. Thou shalt not make any graven image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven or above or in the earth below or in the water beneath. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them, for I'm a jealous God. He's the rat bastard. So what he's saying is, have no other gods before me, number one. Make no graven image. Number two, don't have any idols before me. That's in the, that's the shortened version. Have no gods before the me. Bam, we know what that is. Then have no idols. Well, what's an idol? An idol is anything. I must not have the chat room turned on because surely somebody would hit me with a chat if I had it on. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it'd be nice to be able to get some chat going on up in here. Anyways, have no idols before you. What does that mean? Don't have anything that you give your worship to outside of that divinity that's in you. Don't cede your divinity to anyone or anything. Don't cede your divinity to any debilitating habits. Don't cede your divinity to any debilitating activities. Don't cede your divinity to any people, places, things, spirits, or entities that would take your divinity from you. Have no other God before the me, and have no idols before the me. This is Christ-style 10 Commandments. I'm the Christian whistleblower, Jeffrey Daugherty. Let's go to Christ-style 10 Commandment number 3. I'm not very good at this yet, am I? Bam. Okay. So, thou shalt not take the name of thy God in vain. Forget this rat bastard stuff. Just cross it out. That lady in Oklahoma I was talking about, she says, now I go through my Bible when I read it, every place I see Lord, I cross it out. And I'm like, you go, sister. Thou shalt not take the name of thy God in vain. Who's the God? No God before me. So you shall not take the name of you in vain. Every time I hear you take your name in vain, I'm going to slap you. And I'll do it out of love. Why am I so ugly? Slap. Why am I so stupid? Slap. Why can't I ever get anything right? Slap. Why am I such a loser? Slap. Why can't I live up to my potential? Slap. Do you get the point? You're taking the name of your God, the me, in vain. Words are things. Words are going to be the building blocks or the wrecking ball, bam, of your life. Why you want, 33 viewers right now. It just dropped to 33. That means the Illuminati's in town. A bunch of knuckleheads around this place anyway. It's Friday Night Troll Special. You should hear what Daugherty was talking about. What were we on? We were on, don't make any idols. No idols before thee, before your God, before you, before the me. Nothing should take away your focus on your worship of you, meaning you're growing you, you're developing you, your spiritual evolution, you're getting better, stronger, faster, and really nothing should come between you and your great basic purpose. Have no God before me, right? Make no idols before me. And what else we got? Let's move on to the next one. And I think I skipped one, but we'll see it right here. Have no gods before the me. Have no idols before me. Don't take your name in vain. Quit calling yourself stupid. Quit calling yourself ugly. Don't ask, why can't I get a decent job? Ask, how can I get a decent job? Don't ask, why am I so fat? Ask, how can I get in better shape? Don't ask, why didn't anybody love me? Ask, what can I do to be more attractive to people? Or what can I do to not need no damn body to love me? Be my own best friend. Remember the Sabbath day. 6 days will you work, on the seventh day rest. What's he talking about there? You're going to tell me to keep a Sabbath? No, I'm going to tell you to do this. Remember, why do you remember the Sabbath day? Because in 6 days, God created. And what did he create? He created you. You are special. You are unique. You are magnificent. You are a manifestation of the divine essence. Don't ever let anybody, don't let yourself talk bad about you, and don't listen to none of these other fools talking bad about you. Oh, they don't understand. They don't know. They left us. They're following some cult. Who cares? You know what it's like? It's like I just moved from a lake. I used to be on a lake, and there was this wire that went across on this side of the house. And this is literally true. I'm not making this up. And there were these trolls that are trolls. They were trolls. It's the same exact thing. There were these crows that would sit on the line there. And the crows are just sitting on that line. And if I looked to this side, I could see often eagles, bald eagles flying around. Bald eagles flying. Over here, the crows sitting on a wire, complaining. Eagles over here. Crows talking trash about the eagle. But you know what? The eagle up there, he's too busy doing eagle things, flying, soaring, being majestic, being powerful. He don't even hear them damn crows. That's what you got to do. You got to get an eagle vision. You got to mount up with wings like eagles. And eagles don't hear crows. And eagles don't give a damn what a crow says if they do hear them. So not only do you not say anything bad about you, don't take your name in vain, don't listen to the crows. Be too busy doing eagle stuff that you don't have time to listen to no stinking crow. How about that? That's some good stuff. Let's get into some more 10 Commandment, Jesus style. What do we got here? We got a guy that didn't know how to operate Google Hangouts Live, but that's all right. What's the next one? Come on, work with me. Okay. Honor your father and mother. Oh, this is a big one. Honor your father and your mother. Honor your father and your mother. Have we stopped sharing? We have. Honor your father and your mother. Where are you from? I don't mean Pittsburgh or Toledo or Poughkeepsie. I mean nationally, where are you from? Me, Ireland, Donegal, Ireland. Where are you from? I wish some of you would put it in the chat. Why won't you chat? I don't think I have it turned on, because surely some of you would put a chat in there when a brother asked you to. Where are you from? Well, Jeff, what do you mean, where am I from? I mean, where are you from? Simple question. What's your point? Remember your father and mother. I'm from Ireland. So I have done study into the old Irish gods. The gods that we used to have before the Romans marched in with their swords and said, convert or die. How'd you like a little Roman Christianity? No. How'd you like to have some your guts in your hands? Oh, okay. We were the worshipers of Danu. We were the Tuatha De Danann, and I know I pronounce that terribly, even though I'm Irish on both sides. So I study my forefathers, my father and my mother. I understand where I come from and my spiritual heritage. Are you Native American? Are you from the Nordic lands? Are you from the Eastern lands? Are you from the African lands? That's when I started growing this and this. I let my mom, I'll just admit it. She said, if you cut your hair, I'll give you my car. I just bought it. She bought a new car, and she said, if you cut your hair, I'll give you my car. I cut my hair for a car. I knew it was going to go back out again, and I'd still have the car and long hair. And look at that. It's starting to work. It's starting to work. See? So it'll be all right in a minute. So I studied you need to study your home gods. Where are you from? Study the gods. Study the religion that your people used to be. Well, why? Well, number one, because the Christ 10 Commandment style said to do it. But number two, you're going to get some good stuff out of that, some good insight into yourself and into your heritage. And everybody ought to know about their heritage. Okay, what's next? Thou shalt not kill. Oh boy, do you really want to talk about this one? Thou shalt not kill. This is a tough one. This is a hard one. Thou shalt not kill. This is a hard one. It really is. This is one I struggle with. It really seems that we shouldn't kill. And should something really have to die for you to have breakfast? Does something really have to die for you to have lunch? Should something really have to die for you to have dinner? Is it necessary? Is it even best for us? I mean, you look at our teeth, you look at our digestive systems. It doesn't seem like we're supposed to be eating meat, but then I look at it, we're a hybrid, a serpent and a dove hybrid. Doesn't that serpent need some nourishment too? I don't know. I wish I didn't have to eat meat, and I've gone a long time without eating it. I haven't felt optimal. So I eat a little meat every now and then. Maybe, I've got back into my sun gazing, and they got some of these dudes, Google sun gazing. They got some of these dudes don't eat nothing. They just sun gaze. They eat sun. So I'm hoping that if I sun gaze, that'll give me enough supplementation to where I don't have to eat no animals. I mean, I feel bad. I got my cat, Rooney's around here somewhere, and he's a cute little fella. But, man, some of them pigs are cute. My granddaughter got chickens. They are so damn cute, those chickens. And she holds those chickens, and she sings to those damn chickens. I'm telling you, she sings to those chickens, and the chickens let her hold them just like I was going to try to show you a picture, just like their pets. They love, they're like affectionate and stuff. And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to eat some chicken now? Thou shalt not kill. Leon Tolstoy, the great writer of War and Peace. He said, as long as there's battlefields, as long as there's slaughterhouses, there will be battlefields. And I was watching Rex over at, what the hell is it? Leak Project. Yeah. Did I tell you Denmark, Australia, Missouri, Oklahoma? And I modified my sleep schedule a little bit. So if you're trying to get on my schedule, I did modify the sleep schedule. So it should open up more time for you to be able to get a time schedule with me if you like. I don't set a price, but I do ask a donation. So please don't stiff a brother. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. There was this Indian Vedic guy on there. That's probably a little bit redundant, and not necessarily, because he was Indian and he was Vedic. And he was talking about all of the animals that are, I was going to say crucified. They really are. All the animals that are sacrificed on a daily basis in the United States for food. Probably billions of animals every day killed for food. And that's why there still has to be war. That's why there has to be wars, because the karmic energetic exchange has to be kept equal. And that's what Tolstoy was saying when he said, as long as there's slaughterhouses, there will be battlefields. I didn't get what he was saying. It was too deep for me. And not until this Vedic guy, everybody was laughing at him, calling him stupid and all that, because, that's the problem with these people. This is what Jesus, the Christ, meant when he said, love. The most important thing is love yourself, love the divinity in you. Second thing is love your neighbor as yourself. These people on Leak Project, which is intelligent, highbrow, smarter than your average bear people, no better people. And they're making fun of this guy. Oh, he talks funny. I can't understand him. Oh, he sounds like he's on hash. Sounds like he's smoking a bowl. Looks like he's got two black eyes. Not everybody looks like you do, fool. And may I add, thank God for that. Not everybody looks like me, even though I'm looking all right. Goatee's coming in. Not bad for a 54-year-old guy. Got some little crow's feet here. A little bit of bags, but that's like a carry-on still. Not too worried about it. He was sporting a silk, like a silk robe, and it was all open and stuff, Ron Jeremy style. So, but hey, it's a different culture, right? Made me want a silk robe, to be honest with you. Next time you see me on here, I might just be silk robe, stuff hanging out. You never know. And there's no grass here, honey. Grass don't grow on no playground. You ever see grass on a busy street? But anyway, I'm being facetious, obviously. But if you were in love with the divinity in you, then you wouldn't be making fun of other people that don't look like you, dress like you, talk like you. And that guy had forgotten more about spirituality than most of us know. So anyway, there's that. Where was I going with this? Where was I going with this? Oh, remember, you're created and you're special. And so is he, and so is she. So you got no right to be coming down on people. And I have a hard time with that. I'm a little sarcastic with people. And I'm never meaning to be mean about it, but I can be a sarcastic bastard sometimes. And I've hurt people's feelings, and I'm fixing that. Not going to do that anymore. Because people are created in the image of God. So let's go again to the next commandment. Thou shalt not kill is what we were talking about. Thou shalt not commit adultery. What are you going to do with that one? Well, there's the obvious. Don't sleep with your neighbor's wife. I mean, come on, dummy. That doesn't have to be in the 10 Commandments. But what is adultery? It's spiritual adultery. Don't commit spiritual adultery. And it goes back to having a God before you. It goes back to externalizing your divinity. Don't commit spiritual adultery. And don't sleep with your neighbor's wife or your neighbor's husband, whatever your proclivities seem to be. Don't do it. There's like 4 billion dudes on this planet, 4 billion chicks on this planet. You don't need the one that is somebody else's. And listen, she may look good, he may look good, but if they're willing to hook up with you and they become yours, guess what? They'll hook up with the other neighbor next. So, and don't commit spiritual adultery on yourself. He's already said, number one, don't have any gods before me. He's already said, number two, don't have any idols before you. He's already said, don't talk bad about yourself. Don't bear false witness or take your name in vain. And then he also said, don't remember how holy you are, and don't let false witness, don't let them crows get to you. So do you see how important recognizing your own divinity is? Why is that so important? Because you can't love your neighbor as yourself till you love yourself. You can't love yourself until you recognize the divinity within you. This is the 10 Commandments, Christ style. Bam! Good stuff. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. I hope you guys can't see me doing all this stuff. All right. Thou shalt not steal. Oh, this is a good one. Thou shalt not steal. Ooh. You know what that means, thou shalt not steal, Christ style? That means you shall not use your intention above anybody else's intention. You shall not override anyone else's intention with your own. That means as you get good and you learn how to use your intention, you can't go into your daughter's dreams and give her ideas that conform to what you want her to do. You got to stand back and be hands off and let her do her own do. Yeah, I thought about it before. My daughter, yeah, don't do it. Most of you can't do it, but those of you that can, don't. And those of you that one day can, don't. Don't steal. Do not steal the power of someone's intention. And don't steal anybody's energy. Don't be a vampire, an energy vampire. Don't suck people dry. I know I don't talk about this much, but we're going to talk on some sexy time right now. Y'all ready for sexy time talk? Friday night. Woo! We're letting it all hang out. Don't steal someone else's power just so you can get your rocks off. Men, don't go talking your talk and working your Rico Suave just to get laid, and then you're just using her to get laid, or you're just using him to get laid. Ladies, don't you do it either. Don't work that stuff you work just to get you a little bit of that thing you want from a guy or a girl. Don't do it. Sex is too sacred. Now, I'm not saying be married, don't have sex till you're married. What I'm saying is you need to have a heart-to-heart look. It's Friday night. You look good. I look good. You feel good. I feel good. I don't know about Saturday, but Friday night, right here, right now, you and me, are we on the same page energetically? Are we on the same page spiritually? Do we both understand what's going on? Well, Jeff, I'll never get laid if I do that. Well, then you better work on your game, brother. That's a way of integrity. That's a way of enlightenment. And you know what? You ought to try it sometime. Maybe it would work things out for you. Now, ladies, of course, any guys will say, oh, yeah, whatever you say. I don't care about Saturday. Most of them don't, because they're just happy to get with somebody as pretty as you. But you got to, and I'm not recommending that. I think it's best within a committed relationship where you guys can really be trying to, somebody wants the best for your spirit. You want the best for their spirit. And it's really a connection. But at the very least, don't steal, don't shoplift the pootie. And don't shoplift whatever the corresponding thing of that is. Jerry Maguire reference. If you think you want to have a one-night stand, a little shakalaka, talk about it. Hey, look, man, I don't know if it's any more than this, but here we are. What do you think? That's a way of integrity. That's a way where you're not stealing. Is it a best practice? No, but it's much better practice than what some of you skanks have been doing, but that's none of my business. None of my business at all. Is it hot in here, or is it just you? But I don't even mean it that way, but all right, let's move along to the next commandment. What do you say? You got to admit that's pretty good stuff, though. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Some of you are already looking at the part about don't covet your neighbor's ass. Come on now. Hello. Get your mind back up here. Thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. You can't bear false witness against your neighbor. Don't be putting bad juju on your neighbor. You know how it said don't talk bad, don't take your own name in vain? Don't listen to the crows, and don't hang around the crows that are trying to put bad juju on your name. Same thing to your neighbor, bro. Same thing to your neighbor, sister. If you feel like saying, oh, man, anytime you feel like saying anything other than what a stud he is, don't say it. Ladies, anytime you feel like saying anything other than, oh, how beautiful she is, don't say it. Apply the thumper rule. I should pull thumper up here. The thumper rule is from Bambi. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. Because when you put that stuff out, oh, she's a bitch. Well, guess what? You know that old saying that we used to have? I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks on you. We didn't know he was talking about the law of attraction, and it's true. Oh, she's a bitch. Boom, bam. Now you got that, whatever that was, it's coming back on you, law of attraction. And it's called a law. You don't get to decide whether you like it. Same guy with you. Oh, look at him. Thinks he's so hot. Thinks what a he is. He's rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say, bounce off him. Six, oh, bam. Besides, the commandment says, don't bear false witness against you. But it's true, he really is that. No, you don't know that. Remember, you're supposed to be loving your neighbor as yourself. And if you're finding fault in your neighbor, guess what? You don't have to look this way for fault. You don't have to look that way for fault. Look this way for fault. Look in the mirror for fault, because you're supposed to be loving your neighbor as yourself. Ooh. You know what that really means? If you're finding fault, that means that you're not loving your neighbor as yourself, or maybe you are because you're not loving yourself yet. Oh, I know why, because you haven't got the realization about the spark of divinity yet. You still think you're born in original sin, right? You still think you're a sinner saved by grace. You're still buying that Jesus. Get that con out of my face. Get rid of that crap. You're filled with divinity. Love, know God before me. I am God, me. Spark of divinity. And that way, if I get that really done, all I see over here is God. All I see over there, Goddess. Got a lot of love in the room. That takes care of that barren false witness, doesn't it? All right. I think we're down to the end. Here you go, perverts. Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's ass. Didn't we already talk about that? You should not covet your neighbor's crib, your neighbor's wife or husband, any of the stuff he has, nor his car, nor his motorhome, or anything that is your neighbor's. It's just that simple. Don't covet it. Don't get into a contest. And know what this is? This is about dropping out. There's a reason why he said those first two are the most important things. Love yourself, love your neighbor. Those are the most important things. There's a reason why they're the most important things. Because if you find yourself wanting your neighbor's stuff or your neighbor's babe, that means, oh crap, man, snap. I'm not being excellent to my neighbor because I've either forgotten that they've got the divinity in them just like me, or I've forgotten to love me. And if I've forgotten to love me, I've forgotten the divinity in me. That's why Christ said these two things, love you, no other gods before me, and love your neighbors yourself. They're the most two important. Every one of those 10 commandments are about those. He said, on these two things hang all the commandments. And we just saw why on those two things hang all the commandments. If you're loving yourself and loving your neighbor, if you're recognizing the divinity in you and loving you, if you're recognizing the divinity in you and the divinity in your neighbor, you're loving you, you're loving your neighbor, everything takes care of itself. All of it. Isn't that a lot better than the 10 Commandments rat bastard style? Oh, yeah. Much better. And man, it just changes things when I'm just imagining I got the neighbor over there. Me and him were like this. We're cool. Neighbor over there, I don't know them. But we're cool, right? Neighbor across the street had some issues, but I'm trying to extend that Christness. It ain't always easy. It ain't always easy. But if it were easy, then we wouldn't need the Christ, and we wouldn't need to be like this and to hang out with each other. But we need each other. I need you. You need me. It's like Barney. You know, we're just a big happy family, right? And if we apply these 10 commandments Christ style, we will fulfill those two on which they all hang, and everything will be golden. Have no other God before the me. Don't have any idols before the me. Don't take your name in vain. Remember, you are a creation of the Almighty. Honor your father and mother. Get in touch with your spiritual roots of your heritage. Don't put your intention over somebody else's intention. Don't commit spiritual adultery on yourself. Don't steal somebody else's energy. Don't put bad juju on your neighbor. And don't get all grabby about your neighbor's stuff. It's very simple. It's very easy when you look at the 10 Commandments, Christ style. So this was a Friday night troll special. Now you can troll away because Darty didn't use no Greek, didn't use no Hebrew. He just talked about Christ style this, Christ style that. Well, guess what? This wasn't for you. This is for deep people, spiritual people, people that have broken out of that matrix, or people that want to. So don't let the door hit you where the Elohim split you if you don't like it. Is that? Nah. Nobody's perfect. I'm Jeffrey Darty, the Christian Whistleblower. I got a big show tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Cliff Desmond used to be a big producer for TBN. Worked with all the big Christian doodahs, the lady with the pink hair, and, Paul and Jan. He's going to talk about what he's doing now, talk about resurrecting and supporting the divine feminine, the sacred feminine, the feminine in our world today. Going to talk about puppets. Yeah, puppets, and not in a bad way, maybe in a bad way, but puppets in a good way too. Good stuff. He's the voice of WPSL South Florida. Used to be my radio announcer, Cliff Desmond. Tomorrow 6 p.m. But I'll be hitting you up before that. Thanks to everybody for the great subscriber base that we're building. Thanks to you that are liking, sharing, subscribing. A personal thanks to you that are supporting and sponsoring. Take this to heart. I know we did it lightheartedly, but it's really good stuff. I'm Jeffrey Darty, the Christian Whistleblower. I think I'm in your corner. I think I care about you. I think that I consider you 6,000 of my closest friends. And we are not only going to win this battle, we're already winning this battle. Unwind your mind, unindoctrinate yourself, guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own stinking guru. You be, not me, your own guru. Be excellent to yourself. And then we can all be excellent to each other. Love you. See ya. Peace. Love, light. Bam. Jeffrey Darty, Christian Whistleblower. We'll see you next time, my brothers and my sisters.